Yo, what's up? It's your boy Alex. I'm here recording a video. Unfortunately, I can't do it inside the house because my uncle is there and he's gonna be around for at least 2 weeks. So, unfortunately, we're gonna be on location trying to do at least 2 to 3 episodes of my new series here on YouTube. Who's better, NFL? I did promise you that in last week's episode 1, which was Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers, the New England Patriots versus the Green Bay Packers. Today is episode 2 on location, and that's going to be Payton Manny, who used to play for the Indianapolis Colts once upon a time. Now used to retire with the Denver Broncos, taking on. It's basically going to be Payton Manny versus Andrew Luck. You know, the Denver Broncos versus the Indianapolis Colts. You know, it's funny, right? He actually played for 2 football teams. Yes, we're in Inglewood, California, and I apologize if you hear some noises in the background. It's unfortunate that you got to be subject to this. You know, I wish this wasn't the case. I wish this didn't happen. I wish my uncle had got him a new truck 5 or 6 or 7 years ago. You know, but that's life. You know, people want to keep on to their truck for a long time. Don't want to spend no money. But that's not what this video is about. You know, it's just me venting. And I didn't come here to vent. I came here to make a video. So let's get to it. Okay. Payton Manny, to me, and this is just me, to me, he's the second best quarterback in the NFL. Now, every time he played against Tom Brady in the New England Patriots, do we have to ask that question of who won 99.99% of the time when they always faced? I mean, the defense and the offense was strong and powerful, but there were times where first 10 or 15 points was scored, and then the Patriots would always come back and win the football game. And for a long time, for about 12 or 13 years, hold on, got another airplane. Can't do nothing about the airplanes, people. You know, I wish I could be in my house filming it, but it ain't that simple. And when you get your uncle staying with you, it just complicates things. But my point is that 99.99% of the time, Tom Brady and the Patriots always beat Payton Manny Indianapolis Colts. Now, don't get me wrong. There were at least 5 or 6 games in a 7-year period where Payton Manny actually did beat Tom Brady and the Patriots. But they came in critical moments where somebody dropped the football, somebody didn't play good on offense or on defense. A rookie player made a rookie mistake, cost them the game. You know, in these cases, Payton Manny would win by 2 points, 3 points in certain cases. And it was always Tom Brady win, but there were at least 5 or 6 games in a 7-year period where he got the better of Tom Brady and the Patriots. Now, if we look from 1999 or 2000 all the way down to like 2015 or 2016, that is a long time to be playing in the NFL. And I'm talking about Payton Manny, as far as that concerned. Now, if we look at 2001, 2002, at that point, it was who's the best, Tom Brady or Payton Manny? Now, by the time Payton Manny got hold on, we got another airplane. Unfortunately, there's just ain't nothing I can do about it, people. Unfortunately, by the time Payton Manny got to 25, 26 years old, he was in his physical prime. You know, he could throw the football, he could give it to the wide receiver, and they were good at snapping the football. They were good at it. And finally, in 2006, he'd finally done what his father, you know, because Payton Manny had a father who played in the NFL for about 13 years, and Payton Manny's father could not win a Super Bowl. And the son had finally done something that the father could not. He won his first Super Bowl in 8 or 9 seasons. You know, 26 going on 27 or something like that. And he did it against the New Orleans Saints. The team that could have won the Super Bowl, but did not know how to handle the pressure going against the defense of the Colts, or should I say the Atlanta Colts' offense. Anyway, he won his first Super Bowl. But less than 2 or 3 seasons later, he would return back to the Super Bowl, and he would lose to another team that had never won it before in their franchise. And that was the Super Bowl that Peyton Manning was supposed to win. But he got, some people felt he got cheated out of a second Super Bowl. To me, it just, at that point, he was like 30, 31 years old. And you could see the writing on the wall. Now you've been in the NFL for about 12, 13, 14 seasons, something like that. And he let it get away from him. So he won a Super Bowl, lost the Super Bowl. All of a sudden, here comes this young draft pick, Andrew Luck, this young and up-and-coming star who's going to be the brightest future of the Indianapolis Colts. And the owner and the general managers came to a conclusion. We just can't have two quarterbacks on the same football team because it just wouldn't sound right for business. So ultimately, someone had to leave. They were not going to get rid of a 19 or 20-year-old guy that they just drafted into the NFL. So that 31 or 32-year-old Peyton Manning, unfortunately, the guy who played for 13, 14 seasons, that guy had to leave the team that he put on his back and kicked ass and take names. It was like the same story of Joe Montana. You played 13, 14 seasons for the San Francisco 49ers, and it's time for your ass to go, basically. So ultimately, he left and got traded to the Denver Broncos. And there's where he met John Elway, two-time Super Bowl champ. John Elway had kind of like, hold on. Like I said, people, I can't do nothing about these airplanes. He met two-time Super Bowl champ John Elway, who went to the Super Bowl 3 times in a 11 or 12-year NFL career and had the same problem. And here's where Peyton Manning would get a recharge of his NFL career. Now here, in his first year, they didn't exactly win it. They almost went to the Super Bowl his first year. Second year, Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos managed to knock off the New England Patriots, a feat that we all thought would never happen, and it happened. He knocked off the best player. He finally did something that most critics thought he would never ever do. That's finally beat Brady in a critical game. Finally makes it to the Super Bowl, and what happens? He loses to the Seattle Seahawks. Something that no one saw coming, someone that never predicted it. They predict he would win this Super Bowl. And some people felt that was 2 Super Bowls that were cheated and taken away from Peyton Manning. Of course, he would go back to the Super Bowl, I think another 2 more years later, and he would finally win his second long-awaited Super Bowl championship. So he won 2 and he lost 2. So he's 2 for 2 when it comes to the Super Bowl, but he's been 4 times. Now, all this time that Peyton Manning is trying to win his second elusive Super Bowl title before he retires, is this young up-and-coming quarterback, Andrew Luck, who's been in the NFL at this point in time in history. He's been there for 3 to 7 years, probably 8 now. He's like 26, 27, same age that Peyton Manning was when he won his first Super Bowl. And this guy has never been able to fill the shoes of Peyton Manning. He's never been able to become the same quarterback star that Peyton Manning's become. When you go to Indianapolis, people love to talk about Peyton Manning. It's all they talk about when they talk about the good old days of the Indianapolis Colts. And when they see this Andrew Luck, who's a little bigger, a little stronger, a little faster, can throw the football way much better than Peyton Manning. But let's be honest, this guy's been in the NFL for 6, 7 years, and he's been on a drought. And every time it's the Indianapolis Colts versus the Denver Broncos, that strong, powerful offense of the Denver Broncos just steamrolled the hell over the Indianapolis Colts. Now, this guy is 27, 28, almost 30, And he's almost in the NFL for almost 10 years. And then this organization has had injured player after injured player after injured player. And at some point, you got to ask that $1 billion question. Was it worth getting rid of Payton Manning for a young up-and-coming quarterback in Andrew Luck, who can't seem to fill the big shoes that was before him? And you see cases of it where young players come into their own and they're ready to be in their prime, but then there's something that comes up, injuries, alcohol, drugs. But in this case, Andrew Luck is not that type of football player. So to answer the question, who's better here, it's Payton Manning. The old dog simply is just better than the young guy. Now, I'm not saying Andrew Luck will never win a Super Bowl before his career is over. What I'm saying is it's just unfortunate that you make this decision, and now 7 or 8 years later, you now regret that decision being made. It's almost like saying that your girlfriend chooses a younger guy over you simply just because he's younger. But this guy can't produce numbers. This guy can't do it in the playoffs. Every time we see the Indianapolis Colts and the Patriots, what happens? We see an old dog, Tom Brady, come in, kick ass, and knock out the Indianapolis Colts. And we see the same thing when the Denver Broncos come to town, kick ass, take names. So you get where I'm coming from in this video. So I hope you enjoy the second episode. In episode 3, we'll be talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens, since I know there's some people that would just love for me to talk about those football teams. Until then, peace.